Welcome to week 4 of our little Bo Peep sew along. We've made it to where we've finished our main block, and now we're starting to add the borders. And we're going to be adding our little checkerboard border today. So the first thing I want to do is find, which is pretty easy on this, to find the halfway point on this, and I'm just going to set that aside for now. And I want to do the same thing on my block here. So I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a seam there so I can find that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom of my quilt and I'm going to fold it up to where I press that seam line and line those edges up again. And I'm going to put give it another press right here. If I do it that way, I'm going to get rid of the crease I already put in. So let me turn it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the top here. I'm going to fold it down to my middle mark and encourage that stiff little pattern piece to lay flat. I'm just going to press a little seam in there. That's going to help me as I line up the border to know where it goes. So when I put the border on, I'm going to flip it wrong side here, and I'm going to put a pin up here at the top. There's my pin at the top, and I'm going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. Let's make sure we're in our camera lined up here. There we go. Do the same thing down here. Put a pin in at the bottom. Okay, and my middle, I probably should have put a pin in the middle, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So this is the middle right here. So I'm going to line this up with that crease for the middle. And put a pin in the middle, and then I want to find the middle of this section. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got the fifth one here. In the middle of that fifth one is where I want to put my mark, and it looks like it's going to be right there. So pin that one. And then come down and do this other edge as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my middle, and my crease for that is right there. You could also either put pins in the seams that you then move. That would work too. But okay, now that I have it pinned in place, I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and stitch this one down, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. One of the things I did not put in the directions was which way to press these. There's a lot of bulk on some of the seams, so it's just kind of up to you which way you want to go. I found that I am going to press towards the border, so do that here. And with these thick seams, I just tend to let the iron sit there for a moment. Just kind of hold it in place. The wool pressing mat, actually, that's what I'm using to press on. That makes a huge difference in how pieces lie too. So, but anyway, there I've got my two border strips on the sides. Now I'm going to work on the ones that go on the top. I've got my border piece that goes on the top up here, and I wanted to show you as I pin these in place that, you know, I'm going to start here with these seams, and this one matches really nicely, but this one, they are both pressed the same direction. So I'm going to take a moment and press this one so that it will lock into place with this other seam here that just makes for a nicer match there. So I'm going to change that one. And on this side, this one is laying just the way I like it. This seam going this way, this seam going that way. But here again I have this seam going on. And one of the things you can do at this point is just flip what I call fanning the seam open. So this one is still going the original direction. This one is now laying this way, and I'll press that into place, and then it will lock into place with there. Now if you have pressed this seam, you know, the seams here, I pressed mine towards my border. If you happen to press them the other way, you know, then that one is going to lay nicely. So just depends on which way you've pressed them. But I kind of mess with the seams a little bit to get them to lock into place. I just find that makes these seams where all our pieces are coming together, it helps them to line up nicely, so you end up with nice sharp corners. As I sew this together, this border onto the seam, I wanted to show you that I do not sew over pins. You can do a lot of damage actually to your sewing machine, not just, you know, the fact of breaking needles, but you can get things out of alignment, and then your sewing machine needs adjustment. And so what I do is I sew right up to my pin, and then I carefully pull it out and keep going. And pull the pin out, and I'll just keep working that way, sewing the rest of my border in place. And I just take my time as I do this. I don't rush going over all these little seams and everything, so just take your time, stop at those pins instead of sewing over them, and we'll be good to go.